Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Balanced Boss Mom podcast. I'm your host, Erika, and tonight we are having a wonderful conversation about celebrating motherhood, creativity, and the magic that happens when we nurture both our hearts and minds. Like I stated, tonight is going to be a great conversation. Whether you're hearing this morning, this afternoon, or this evening, I hope you enjoy this episode tonight. Without further ado, today we have a truly inspired guest that is going to be here with me. I want you to know her name is Kelly Turner. She is a talented author, educator who spent over 14 years shaping young minds and inspiring children through storytelling. So, without further ado, I am so happy because we've been conversating all week, pretty much almost all month, but I'm not going to tell anybody that. Welcome, Kelly.
Well, thank you so much, Erika. I'm so excited to be here and share my journey with you and all of your listeners. I'm honored. Thank you.
You are absolutely fabulously welcome. See how I said so many, we
I
got
love it.
verbs, adjectives, we got it all going. So again, I am thrilled that you are here this evening with me, just to share a little bit of your knowledge and a little bit of your background with everybody. Um, let's start off with the very beginning, like before the storytelling began, or we'll get into how we got into storytelling, but um can you share a little bit about your journey that led you to become a children's author?
Sure. So, as you mentioned, I've teach preschool for like the last 14 years. So I'm constantly reading. I encourage my children to read, the parents to read to their children. Reading is so important.
Mhm.
And as I'm reading, I like making up stories. And I was like, wouldn't it be cool if I could read a book to my students? So then I started thinking about it, and I put it on a back burner again. And I was like, oh, and then I came back to it again like last year, and I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and do it.
Now that is pretty cool. So no, I know I did a little sneak peek. So you said it's 14 years, right? Is it 14 years as an educator or doing both, being an educator and a storyteller?
So, one as an educator. So my book I just released it last year.
Now, see, I like that. I like that a lot. So one of the questions I had, besides starting off with the beginning of the children's author, like being an author, um, what was the most surprising thing you discovered about your students, while writing the book?
Sure that. Well, I mean, I read, but so kindness is just part of their daily routine. Like I mentioned to them, like, oh guys, you know what, Miss Turner's gonna write a book, and I just they weren't like doing things like on purpose, and they were doing it intentionally. Like they were, I mean, showing just me how kindness is so cool. How they just do acts of kindness from just randomly. They're not like instructed to do it. They're not like, oh, you go tell Johnny, go do this, X, Y, and Z.
Mhm.
No, they do it because they care.
And that's something that I teach my daughter often. So I teach her how to, one, always be nice, always be kind, because you never know what somebody's going through. And we're
Exactly.
kind of going through this little peak season from first grade to second grade where she accustomed to like everybody being around her, being nice and everything. So now in second grade, we're kind of dealing with challenges of why is a person being mean to her, or why, now it's starting to get the level up of, oh, girls being a little catty and, little second grade drama. And so I've always been teaching her to always be nice and always be kind because you don't know what somebody's going through. And pretty much just to ignore the fact of somebody being mean because they're probably going through something at home that they're trying to reflect it at school. So she's always telling me that she's feeling like no one likes her. And I tell her, you are loved, you are beautiful, you're kind, you're amazing. I do those affirmations every morning with her. And so that's one of the things that I like to do to reassure her that I've, one, instilled the kindness in her. Two, I've instilled the confidence with her, but also I don't want to show her that don't let anybody take your kindness for your weakness.
Exactly.
On top of that, because I've learned as the older I have gotten, now that I'm 35, I have always been like, oh, everybody's my friend, everybody's my friend. And I've walked through these seasons of life where not everybody's your friend. And that's something that's hard for me to teach her about. Not everybody is your friend. So we're walking through that season in second grade. And I want to ask you how, after teaching your students about how to be kind and how they just did the random act of kindness on their own, not just they did it by themselves purposely. Um,
Yes.
how did those moments influence the theme and characters in your story?
So just backtrack real fast. So when I do like see students being kind, like I'll say it out loud, like, "Oh, Johnny, I like the way that you gave a compliment to Maria. You said her hair looks nice. That's so kind of you." So I just I'm emphasize on that too. That like I notice that and I'm watching, just like I know they're watching. So I know in my class too, I like children are like sponges. They soak up everything. So, I display acts of kindness too in the class too, so children can, so that they can see as well.
What was the most surprising thing you discovered about your students while writing the book?
Okay, yeah, so I got that part. Yeah, how they're just random acts of kindness. And then I think you asked me what inspired me to write the book. Was that the
What
next question?
inspired you to write the book? Yeah.
Okay, as I'm watching, observing in my class, I'm just writing down notes. I have my little notebook. I'm taking notes to start, my book that I know I was gonna start writing. But
Mhm.
the one thing that really got me was this one little girl one day came in and she was like really upset. Maybe something happened at school and she was like really, really, really upset. And you could tell like she was upset. And, we tried to cheer her up and, she was playing. But at the end of the day, she just started crying and she was like
Aw.
so sad. Literally the next day, this little boy came in with a little gift bag and a little
Mhm.
doll for her and say, "Here you go." He said, "This is for you because you were so sad yesterday. I hope this makes you happy." I was like, "Oh
Yeah,
my gosh, I'm about to start crying." That was absolutely so sweet.
that's cool.
I emailed his parents to let him know. I'm like, "Can I just tell you, your son is just like so kind." That was so sweet of him. And you could tell her, she just started smiling and that just made her day. And I'm like, "Thank you. There you
I
go."
think
Now I'm
that's
really
I think in this world, we need to have the opportunity to still open doors to be kind, especially with the way this world is. It's not like how it used to be where, what's the word? I want to say selfless. Like when I was growing up, things have changed. The world is changing. And so like it's different where you didn't have the internet to go to refer to about gifts and things like that. So I can see where I like that the little boy did do that because people have feelings
ex
and kids and their mental health is not often talked about either. They don't talk about mental health for kids and how that benefits for them or what resources to give to them, which is now they're doing that versus what they're doing back then. But I find it really incredible how your students' daily act of kindness has registered, not only reflecting in your book, which I'm super excited to read, because my little one, she loves to read. Um, which it inspired the title, which is called "The Little Rainbow Who Lots Its Colors," correct?
Yes, correct.
So how did you come up with that title? I have to know.
Yeah, that's a good question. No, so I love rainbows. Rainbows are so beautiful. So I was like, I'm gonna do something about a rainbow. And then I say, you know what? Wouldn't it be cool if like somehow I can make his colors disappear and then, make them reappear by doing doing being kind and he can get his colors back somehow. So first I wasn't sure how he's gonna get his colors back, but then as I started writing, I was like, I got it.
I like that because I can explain a little bit about how my podcast has started and I've been talking about it on other episodes, but my podcast originally started from in 2023. I've always wanted to do a podcast. Mind you, fast forward, it was supposed to be a crafting podcast. Yes, everybody, I craft. Ha ha, he, very funny. Anywho, it's supposed to be a crafting podcast. And so I was like, you know what? 2024, we're going to put it on our vision board. We're going to do it. I'm going to put it on my vision board and it's going to come to life by 2025. It's going to happen. I kid you not. Made the vision board, sat on it for quite some time in 2024. One night, I started in April. So one night I was asleep And it was the weirdest thing. I can't describe how this happened to me, but my phone was right next to me and I was asleep. I woke up and I looked at the phone and I was like, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to manifest this and I'm just going to do it. So I opened up my voice notes and I recorded my first episode and I looked on how to upload it on Spotify. I looked at like the different hosting sites, of course, Riverside. And I was like, let me try it. What's the chance if somebody likes it? Good. If somebody doesn't like it, oh well. So I uploaded the first episode. It started catching attraction. And so I was like, oh wow, this is interesting. Like, where did this come from? And so it kept picking up, kept picking up. And then finally I feel like I manifest the Balanced Boss Mom podcast where I feel like we balance so much and you can balance with your emotions too, you know, balance being kind, balance being upset, balancing being sad, balancing being what's another mood? We got
Happy,
happy,
excited, angry.
excited, you
Mhm.
know, scared, nervous. You can all balance those. And I like how that you chose for your book that you're balancing with kindness because we need to see that more often and have that um I want to say have the message come across where we still need that more in the world, in my opinion. I don't
Exactly.
know.
You are most certainly correct. We sure do.
We do need it because it's like, I don't want to say being kind is making you feel small or belittled or whatever, but I feel like being kind gets you a long way versus all the other emotions. It's not going to pretty much give you that 100% long way of what you need. And right now, with the way kids are, I do think we need to keep reflecting kindness, especially whether there's something going on at home or not, just still reflect that. Whether you're at home, being kind and nice to your parents, or being at school, being nice to your students. So,
Exactly. So can I just piggyback? So I have a daughter too. So I know
oh,
when she was younger and stuff, I was like, I did like things like in front of her, like I might like pay for someone's food at the store, or
mhm.
like give someone on the street maybe money, or let somebody go in front of me in a park, in front of me, like that's trying to turn out. So I was like, you know what,
Mhm.
let me let them go, so I can wait. I'm gonna let them go, so try to just like do small things so that she could observe and see too, and learn.
I like that because it's the random act of kindness, which I forgot. I know that's kind of like a big theme, big day,
Yeah,
which
they have a day for that too. I believe that's in, oh gosh, I think it's in November, if I want to say.
I think it is. That's what I'm feeling like it's in November, but I feel like it's in springtime too. Excuse me. Sorry about that, y'all. I had to yawn. I didn't mean to yawn. But for those listeners, which I haven't even touched on this yet, I know I touched on the title, but for those that are listening who haven't read the book yet, can you tell us about the little rainbow who lost its colors, what it's about? We've already learned about the message that it's about kindness, but I do want to bring that message forward about what it's about.
Sure, sure. So yeah, so the book is about it. Obviously, it's a rainbow who has some friends, and he's excuse me, he's not very nice to some other friends that want to join in and play, and somehow he says some things, and he starts to lose he loses his colors. So it's about like each color and how they help, how like what they do to help him get his colors back.
I like that. You know what? You know what that reminds me of? And me and my daughter watch this movie all the time, on Disney, Elemental,
Elemental, I've heard of that. I don't know if I've seen it, but I think I've heard of it.
about the 4 colors where it has the rain, fire oh my goodness, I'm stuck. The rain, the fire, the wood, and it's one more. It's kinda like the 4 seasons, kind of almost,
Okay.
but the fire and the rain become friends, and I think they end up becoming more than friends, but
Oh,
it's really cute. It came out, like, last year. Disney, y'all need to pick up on that book. Just saying. I'm just gonna plug that in. But yeah, it's kind of close reminding me of that, or sort of
okay.
speak.
I've
You
never
have to you
I might
have
have to
to
check it
watch it.
out.
You have to check it out because it's a good movie. And so another question I have is, have you noticed any particular moments when your students really connect with like the story behind your book
Yes.
or its characters?
Yeah, so I'm sorry. So I forgot to mention a part. So in the story too, it's like a kindness wand. I wish I had to show you, but it's like a little
Okay.
wand you make, and it's like each friend like blew into the kindness wand, and they were as they were did their acts of kindness, they blew into the kindness wand, so they're blowing kindness to the little rainbow. So
Oh, I like that.
and so I know I've some teachers I know that have purchased my book and they've made the kindness one in their class and they say, "Oh my gosh, my kids love it. They're going around and they're they're using it and they're blowing kindness. If someone's not being mean to them, if someone's not being nice to them, they'll go and they'll blow say, here's some kindness for you. They'll blow some kindness." And I see that as well in my classroom too. And I love it.
I love that. You know what? I have an idea for you, and I don't know if I should wait until after the episode to say it, but I have an idea because there's this lady, side note, that's on TikTok. She does, it's called the NFL Elementary. And I don't know if you've seen it where she does all her students do like the draft and everything, all 32 teams. They have like each one of their teams. And so she writes out to each team, like all 32 teams, about the students and everything like that. Long story short, um, the teams write back and they give like all this merchandise and everything to the like one specific, big merchandise to the kid that's been drafted, but then also gives the stuff to the teams. And like she makes the recordings of class, and she talks about like, for example, Chicago Bears. She did one on them and she did one on Philadelphia Eagles. It's such a cool thing. I thought that was so cool to like one bring NFL into school, make it more fun where I know boys like
Yeah,
football, but girls like football
girls
too. And
too.
then
Yep.
it's so cool. So I have an idea where you can do like the book, but it will be the book for the teachers to give to the students and kind of do like a class like that.
Oh,
But
okay.
like in different states, like you have the students pick out their favorite state, and then I think that's a cool idea. Have the
Oh,
students pick out their favorite state, whatever
yeah.
state you send the book to the state, and then they can like send a video from the teacher or from the class about reading the book.
Oh, that would be and you know what, actually, I mean, this has a little bit to do with but actually last year I did for Valentine's Day, we did,
Uh-huh.
I put, like, a post on Facebook, and we made kindness cards. So we sent out my class sent out, like we must have sent out, like, to all the states. I said, "If
That's
any
so cool.
teachers are interested, please
Uh-huh.
send us some kindness cards, we'll send you back," and we got, like, 30 cards last year. I was so surprised. I was like, "Wow, this is amazing."
Oh,
And
yeah.
each time we got a kindness card, we put it on the map so the kids could see
Oh, that is
where the cards are
cool.
coming from. So
But
that just
I think that's going to be a good idea for the book,
yeah,
like
you
doing something like.
I just connect I said, "Oh, that does sound like a good idea."
Telling you,
Oh,
I don't
thank
want no proceeds, okay? I'm just saying she can have the idea. I like to share. Sharing is caring.
Yes,
So,
oh, most definitely.
so I know we've touched base about the beginning of your chapter. You educated for 14 years. We talked a little bit about the book. And so I know many parents struggle with getting their children to read. Because my daughter, she loves to read. She reads chapter books. What are some practical tips? What grade are you teaching, if you don't mind me asking?
So I preschool. I have, like, 4 and
Preschool?
5-year-olds getting them ready for kindergarten.
Yeah. Oh, that is so exciting. Oh, I miss when my baby was so tiny, so little, so tiny. But what practical tips do you have to make reading like fun or innovative, kind of like meaningful, like activities to do at home?
I would say if you can, like, I know first let your child pick out what book they want to read. Possibly, you can use props to go along with it. Maybe change
Mhm.
your voice tone as you're reading. Maybe let your teacher let your teacher, oh my gosh, let your child be the teacher and let them read to you. Especially, I know younger kids might not know how to read yet, but allow them to use their pictures to use their imagination, use
Mhm.
the pictures to tell the story. And definitely, I think like I know when I read, I try to change my voice and I use props, and my kids love it.
I
So
think I love the prompts are so much fun because like the older they get, they will be so excited to like read and find ways to do. Reading is fun for me. I love to read. I read books all the time.
Yeah, reading, yeah, it's good. And also too, parents can do like they children can make their own books. Like you can make your own book. You can make your a book about your family, about your house, your pets, whatever. Give them some
Mhm.
paper, let them draw, and then let them read the book to you that they made.
I think Imma start doing that, make it a little bit I know she likes to read chapter books, but I'm gonna make it a little bit more not challenging for her because she's only in the 2nd grade, but a little bit more fun where she because we're doing, like, the who, what's, whens, where's, and whys.
Oh, yep, I remember that.
So, I'm trying to find new innovative ways to be like, "Okay, well, where did you see this book at?" Or, "Where did you see the characters?" Or, we'll watch a movie and I try to pinpoint it, like, "Who's in the movie? Did you see Harry Potter in the movie?" We love Harry Potter. You know, do Harry Potter or something like that, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's the most important too. Ask questions. That's the most important too. As you're reading, maybe stop for a minute, pause, ask a
Mhm,
question, and listen to what they have to say, and just
mhm.
that create that just lets allow them to use their to learn and to use their imagination too.
Would you suggest, like, having like, when you read the books to have, like, more, like, expressions with the book?
Yeah, I think
Or
so too because I think well, I know for little ones, I don't know about for older kids, but I know for like
Mhm,
that when I've done like book reading, I've gone to like I think kindergarten, first grade, like using like facial expression. I bring my
mhm.
kindness wand with me, so I try to and I'm using hand gestures and stuff, try to keep
I
them
need to make me a
engaged.
I'm gonna have to make me a kindness wand with my daughter.
I
I'm
wish I
gonna have to
brought one. I left it at my in my
I'm gonna
school.
have
I
to
would.
I'm gonna have to make one. So, I know we've discussed a little bit into the tips. So, how can parents encourage their I know sometimes a kid can be shy with reading. So, how can they encourage them, especially in this early age of their little walks of life going into school, that reading is fun and reading is fundamental and it's not scary. And although these are big words to learn, that they're not too intimidating.
Yeah, well, I would say take you could have it, take it slow when you're reading, stop, explain the words, as well. The parents can model too as well, them reading at home. So if a child sees, their parents reading, they may, oh, mom and dad are reading. Maybe, maybe I can sit next to mom and dad and I can read with them. But and also make sure, kind of pick books that are on your child's allow them to pick the
Mhm.
book, but that's on their reading level as well. Because you don't want to have them pick like a hard book and then they're getting discouraged and then they don't want to read because they can't figure out the words or it's too much for them. So definitely pick a book that's on their level.
You
I
know
know
what
as
You know what book is really cool that I like revert back to that I told my daughter about maybe a couple weeks ago? I said, Ari, have you ever heard of Chicka Chicka Boom Boom? And she looked at me and she was like, what? And I was like, you seen that book in your library? And she was like, how'd you know? I was like, because I've read it. Or one of my favorites is what is that? The Hungry Caterpillar.
oh, the Very Hungry Caterpillar. Oh, all Eric Carle books are great.
I loved his books. And so she loves doing like bedtime and story time, like right before after she eats dinner and stuff. And I was like, you have to play this book because this book used to be mommy's favorite book. And so we read it for the first time we found it on YouTube and she's like in love with it. So I was like, so I believe reading one on a child's level is good. But I also feel like with now that we have the resources for the internet, kind of make it a little bit more fun and make it more imaginable for them.
Exactly, and I know, I mean, I don't wanna say I don't wanna promote too much have your kids I know children are on a computer and a laptop all the time, but also maybe switch it up sometimes to maybe do a book and then do a book on a computer too. Let your child, like, read the book or listen to the book on the,
That's what we're doing here. She has a projector, so she puts it on her projector. My child is so cool. Like she's the coolest kid in the world to me. Where she goes and she's like, "Mom, I got the chill vibes on." And I'm like, "You're only 7. Like, what is happening? Like, what?" I'm like, "I'm in trouble. Like, I'm in trouble. Like, 7 years from now, I'm in trouble. Like, I'm in deep trouble. Like, 7 to 14, I am
the
in
chill
trouble."
vibes. Okay.
They
Excuse
no,
me.
and she'll put on or she'll put, like, the yoga. Like, she's like, "I'm gonna do yoga today." And I'm like, "You don't even know what yoga means." And then I don't know how either she sounds it out and spell it, or she'll talk into the remote and be like, "Yoga for a second grader." And I'm like, once again, you're 7.
Yeah,
Where's
children, they're
Mm,
so advanced now.
they are, and I like how you said earlier when you were talking about children they learn from other children. Now me, I keep hearing that saying a lot about how children learn from other children, but I really believe that the children learn from the educator, the
Mhm.
teacher. I feel like they reciprocate more to the teacher than learning from the student. Because if you learn from the student, their bad habits, your child is going to pick up their bad habits. You know what I mean? And so I'm kind of like in this boat where I'm like, "Mm, I don't think they should learn from another student, but you're the educator, not me. You know what I'm saying? I
I
don't
know,
know.
I think teachers kind of pick up on that, and they might like I know when I do, like, small groups, like, I know some children, like, everyone's on different, like, skill sets, so I might put, like, a
Mhm.
higher learner with maybe a not so higher learner, so maybe they can learn from them, so that, like, in that respect, that's good, but, yeah, in some respects, it might not be as good.
It may not, and like you said, everybody learns on a different level, different
Mhm.
level, different frequency. And I know my daughter, she loves it's crazy because I've been hearing like, "Oh, she's struggling with her spelling and she's struggling with her reading." And I'm like, "The girl reads chapter books at home. She's not What do you mean she's struggling?" Like it's mind-blowing. And then I'm like, "Well, if she's struggling, where's the homework? You know? Where's the homework?" But, however, they believe that because they do the schoolwork all day, that they shouldn't have homework. So I'm like, how are you going to teach a child if they're struggling with the subject? How are you going to teach them to elevate and level up?
Exactly, they need to practice what they've learned.
What I've been saying. Instead of getting on a computer, you want to draw or you come home with drawings. I'm like, did you do this? Or what have you done? Like, what are you doing? Oh, we drew today. And I'm like, but that's not learning. Like, I need it. And then you come home with a bad grade and you're like, I don't know how this happened. So yes, they prefer the student to, and I'm a little against that, because I've always had homework growing up. So I'm
And
like,
me too. That's why I'm
why?
surprised that you just said that.
I'm like, why are you reverting to no home? That makes no sense to me. But before we wrap up, I want to do a little interaction reflection. So I am going to give you a few words, and I would love for you to share the first thing that comes to mind, just like we often do in classroom. I'm
Alright.
excited. So, first word I'm going to call out to you is rainbow.
I would say brightness, colorful, shiny, not shiny, sorry, diversity.
I like that. Diversity. We're going to clock it. Diversity.
Yeah, and that's
So,
what actually I'm sorry, that's what made me do the colors, all the colors are different. I'm like, I want children to see that it's okay to be kind to other people. Everyone's different, but inside we're all the same.
we are all the same. And another thing I'm going to say is another teaching that I'm doing, not only about random act of kindness, but I'm also teaching my daughter that there's different people that have different walks of life. Like there's some people that are in wheelchairs. There's some people that can't verbally talk. There's some people that show their way by affections of hugs.
Mm,
Um, or, holding the door for that person. It's different ways. And I'm teaching my daughter that too. So I'm glad, like I stated, that word for diversity came to mind. What
that's
about
that's
kindness?
that's great. Caring, generosity,
Okay.
consideration for others.
I'm liking that one. Consideration. I like that. Okay. What do you say about friendship?
Say friendship would be like trust, love, fun,
Mm-hmm.
affection.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What about sharing?
A skill we're learning. No, being cooperative, giving and receiving, taking turn,
Okay.
respect.
Respect goes a long way.
Oh my gosh.
What about courage?
Courage, I would say like strength, bravery, having a I can attitude.
I like that. Now, the I can, I like that because everywhere you go, there's the I can statement. So I do like that. So, which of these words do you feel has the most impact on children and why? For me, I would have to say courage would impact more.
Courage? Oh, and why is that? May I ask?
So, I feel like to me, if you don't have courage, you're not going to have the confidence and feeling like that you can succeed in anything that you want to do. And I feel like with the word courage, you need to believe in what you see without jumping out there. It's like kind of like jumping out there, you're on a boat and you're fishing for the first time and you don't know how to hook that line on that fish for the first time. Or example, driving for the first time. Maybe some people don't know how to drive and it's just a lack of courage, and you got to believe that you can do it. So that's the word that I think jumps out to me most.
That's good. So it was hard for me to pick. I'm like, oh, all these words. Like, I mean, they're so important. But I think like in a classroom, I would have to say even respect. I would say kindness, and I know respect isn't on there, but I would say respect, kindness, and respect because like those two go a long way.
I feel like we're hand in hand too, respect and kindness, because if you don't respect that person, you're going to get treated differently regardless. And I
Ex-
feel like the word diversity speaks into kindness as well because everyone's diverse.
exactly. And then but if you're kind and that's how you can build friendships as well.
Mhm.
So, but I like courage too. I like what you said because courage is important because a lot of children might not have courage. They might have that, oh, I can't attitude. I can't do it. I can't.
Mhm.
But we have to, as teachers and parents and, we have to build them up and give them that confidence that they can. That's why I say in my classroom, we don't say I can't. We say I can or I
I
need
like
help, but
that.
we don't say I can't. I don't want to hear that. So that's
I like
one of the
that
rules.
because, like I said, sometimes I tell my daughter all the time, for example, she tells me that she cries and when something doesn't go, like something's frustrating her. So
Mhm.
she'll be like, Mommy, the tears are just coming. And I'll be like, you can do it. Just take your time, 3 deep breaths, and you got it. Like,
There you
it's
go.
okay. You're in school to learn what the mistakes are happening. These are the times that you learn that mistakes happen. So it's okay to not get the answer on the first try. It takes people 7 tries. I used to play the violin since I was 3 years old, 4 years old. Do you think I was a musician overnight? No. It took a lot of practice, 10 to 14 hours a day practicing. And then I became first chair. So
Good for you.
I know I love playing the violin. I can't wait. I can't wait for my daughter to be like, I'm going to play the violin.
Like,
Your mom's
let me be the
pro.
teacher. I'll teach you. But you
I'll be the teacher.
piggyback off of that, what you said, you can let your daughter know too that, it's okay. Mommy's still learning too. I'm an adult. I'm still learning. I still make
Mhm.
mistakes and, I don't give up. I try until I figure it out.
Yeah, for sure. And I tell her all the time, I'm like, mommy and daddy are still, there's something new that we learn all the time, but we're not going to give up. It
Mhm.
may be frustrating at first, but like I said, by the end, I told myself by the end of the year, I'm going to learn how to sew again.
There
I'm
you
going
go.
to teach myself how to sew by the end of this year. And if I don't master that, I can try it next year. It's not the end game, you know?
Exactly. You have YouTube for that too. You can type in YouTube and you
I've been
can
looking at YouTube and TikToks. I follow this girl. She's like makes beautiful pieces, like from her sewing machine. And she was like, I could teach you how to begin sewing. And I'm like, I'm gonna try it and walk it and see if I like it. Um,
that's
now,
amazing.
have you given out the book to anybody where you heard like the feedback about the book?
So yeah, like I mentioned before, my family's bought my book, but I mean I've given or sorry, to some teachers, I know they've
Mhm.
and some of my families too, they bought my book and they've just, my messages, "Oh, I think your book is so sweet. The message is beautiful. I love it. My child loves it. They love the kindness ones." I said, "That's great. I'm so
I'm
happy."
like I said, I'm really excited to read it. Like I can't wait. I'm telling you, I cannot wait to get my hands on it because that way I'm gonna show my daughter and I'm gonna take a picture and send it to you so that way you can see that she's read it because she loves to read and I like to read.
That
So
and I'm sorry, I've had families,
go ahead.
parents send me pictures too as well with their child with the book and the kindness one. I was like,
I know I'm gonna do that, especially because she, like I said, she reads chapter books and
"Oh, so this will
she
be a
lo-
piece of cake for her then."
there's gonna be a piece of cake for her. She's gonna like it. So, for the parents and teachers listening to our conversation this evening, who want to encourage kindness, empathy, or even imagination, what is your main piece of advice for that sentence there?
Just to be to like it to be a just to be a role model. I think that's the best to do. I mean, you can
Hmm.
teach and you can talk about it, you can read books about it, but I think for children to learn, they see it like hands on, they see it like in front of them, seeing it happening in front of them, they're gonna pick it up. So that's my best thing, just to be a role model and show that kindness. And even adults, I mean, adults can really learn from. We can learn from students, from children, just at least about kindness and being and respect and stuff like that.
That's true, because my daughter really do humble me. At the age of 35, I'm just letting you know, and it's real.
Can I tell you, I leave my classroom every day, like, my kids boost my self-esteem, like, every day. I'm getting compliments every single day.
My daughter will humble you so bad to the point me and her father just look at each other like, "Who birthed you? Like, who did this to you?" Like, and I know she's getting tall like her dad, but she has some traits of me just a little that I'm a little bit nervous about.
Oh, oh,
So,
your daughter seems so sweet and
she is.
and
She
so
like I said,
loving.
she is the love of my life. She really is. Now, before we wrap up our conversation this evening, if you can give just one actionable tip for parents to um, implement for today, what would it be?
To be positive, be intentional, and be kind.
That to be positive, to be intentional, and to be kind. I like the word intentional. And learn to love people for who they are.
Yes, and yes, exactly, and to
Like, we
yeah.
live in the world right now where our economy, it has, and I know we shouldn't talk about it, but has gone to shit at this point. And it's in the world. We really just need to just love people for who they are, whether they're black, white, purple, brown, light skin, dark skin, short hair, no eyebrows, no eyelashes, half fake eyelashes, half fake nails. I don't care. Just love people or even love them from a distance. You don't have to even talk to them. Just love them from a distance, you know? Because that
Exactly.
act of kindness, you don't know what somebody else is going through. Um,
Exactly, and a simple smile can brighten their day.
it really can. So, as we wrap up our conversation this evening, I want to thank you for sharing your story and thank you for sharing your book because I'm so excited. I'm
Oh,
really
thank you
excited.
so much, and just the book is actually in English and Spanish, so it's in Spanish
You
as
have to throw that. The book is in English and Spanish, y'all. I don't see that means I need to get it in Spanish so I can learn a little Spanish.
well.
That is another goal of mine is to learn Spanish. But truly, I have enjoyed this conversation, your story, your insights for today. Where can the listeners, well, one, where can the listeners find you? And two, where will the book be released?
Okay, so I'm on Instagram at the Little Rainbow 2024. I'm on
Uh-huh.
Facebook. It's no, Facebook is L Rainbow Book, and I have a website too, www. That the Little Rainbow Who Lost Its Colors and .com, and you can purchase the book on the website as well, and also it's available on Amazon too.
See, I'm a Prime member. Gotta go to Amazon. See, now that you said that, I didn't even know it was on Amazon. Look at me. So, are there besides the book, are there any upcoming projects that you want to promote out there as well? Or any affirmations you want to leave for tonight's guests?
Yeah, so I there is a second book coming out. It should actually probably be out in November, and it's Little Rain. It's like a series. Little Rainbows. It's ABC, but ABC I Love Me book. I'm gonna have that coming out,
Mm-hmm.
and I have actually I'm working on like a cartoon too of the Little Rainbow, and I'm in the process of getting what it was called, like a little stuffed animal, the Little Rainbow too, like a stuffy to go with the book. and I am actually gonna be I'm very excited. I'm in New Jersey, so we have New Jersey teacher convention in Atlantic City in
Mhm.
2 weeks. So I'll be
Okay.
there. I have a table there and a booth, so I'll be there and I'll be able to, talk to other educators and stuff.
I have the perfect person for you. And it just dawned on me right on my podcast. She is an educator. She is in New Jersey and she's one of my closest friends. She's also a cricket crafter too.
Okay.
I have to give you her information
Oh yeah, man.
because
Afterwards you can
yeah,
share the information.
give me share me the information in reference to the you said like it's a panel?
No, no, so it's a teacher convention. So it's like a convention where like
Mm.
educators come in and you can like learn about so many things. And they have like an
Okay.
author section, so I'll be there.
Okay, so we'll talk about it in a little bit. But I want to thank you again for coming onto the podcast. Mamas, thank you for joining us in this lovely, heartwarming conversation this evening. Remember, have that great imagination. Let it run, let it be wild. Again, always be nice, always be kind because you don't know what somebody is going through day to day. And just, one day do that random act of kindness, whether it's giving somebody a flower, paying it forward with their meal, or just write a neighbor a thank you note saying, thank you for being here today. So until next time, this episode will be released on Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to it, including on YouTube, which you guys go ahead and search for the Balanced Boss Mom podcast. It'll also be released on my website, which is the Balanced Boss Mom podcast. You just take the out and you just put Balanced Boss Mom podcast. Until next time, like I always tell you guys, keep pushing, keep balancing, keep staying true to yourself. Again, you are beautiful, smart, and amazing, and you are a heart of gold. Is there anything else you want to leave for this conversation today, Kelly?
And I was going to say the same about you, Erica. I was going to say you are an amazing woman. Keep doing what you're doing. I love that you're out here and you're promoting and helping people. And, you have a heart of gold too. So thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Yes, thank you. Same to you. I appreciate your time today. And thank you for the listeners out there. Just, be kind and smile and just when you do something sweet, do something kind, it's not for you. It's kind for the other person. You make the other person feel so good. And like Erica said, we don't know what people are going through. So a simple hi, how are you? Hold the door for them, could make their whole day, make their week, make their month. So thank you again.
All right, guys. Well, you heard Kelly's affirmations, and you definitely for sure heard mine. So I hope you guys have a wonderful, great rest of your week. If you're listening to this for the very first time or however many times you listen to this podcast tonight, I'm grateful. Until next time, I want to say adios. Bye, guys.
Bye.